Okay, so now we're gonna get to our government fun fact section, and for the first time, this might actually be fun, but of course, we'll follow up with seriousness as well. So, Diego, if you could cue the video.
And you cannot tell me that you are not interested in this, because every summer people flock to see our infrastructure threatened by terrorists or aliens. But we should care just as much when it's under threat from the inevitable passage of time. The problem is, no one has made a blockbuster movie about the importance of routine maintenance and repair. Or they hadn't. Until now.
In a world where a few feet of concrete can mean the difference between life and death, where everything you love can be taken from you in the blink of an eye, a few brave souls are willing to risk everything to make nothing happen.
Hello?
It's time.
Excuse me?
For your biennial bridge inspection. I've got Thursday afternoon or Friday anytime before 3.
This summer, get ready for infrastructure. Brace yourself for 98 heart-pounding minutes of incremental maintenance.
I'm not showing any cracking, no delamination, no spalls on the concrete deck, but you got mild corrosion on the beams. You're gonna have to keep an eye on that. Thank you, sir. Don't get cocky.
The New York Times calls infrastructure necessary and something I never thought about, but yeah, sure.
Jesus God, Bobby. Behind you!
Seepage! This thing is going to blow!
15 or 20 years, which is why it's so important that we caught it early.
In this line of work, one mistake could be catastrophic.
It's loose, boss. The bolt is loose.
Well, then tighten it, goddammit.
I don't know which way.
Okay, listen to me. Listen to me. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Talk to me. What's going on?
It's good.
Rolling Stone says nothing happens, and that's probably for the best.
I came here to chew bubblegum and inspect bridges.
You want to see terrible puns about engineering you don't fully understand?
Looks like somebody needs to get their ducks in a row.
You want to see 20-minute monologues on the structural integrity of girders?
I'm ordering uniaxial tests of the slab transverse to the deck corrugations with additional reinforcement and tension tests of the support fastener connections between the deck and the girders.
You want more thrilling routine maintenance than you can handle?
They used PVC piping when they should have used CPVC piping. God help us.
You want to see infrastructure. Featuring an all-star cast, plus two-time Academy Award nominee Edward Norton. Sorry, three-time Academy Award nominee Edward Norton. And introducing, as the chief, Steve Buscemi.
I'm the best dam inspector in the business, and I'm here to inspect this dam.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the health, safety, and welfare of the residents of Oxnard.
Coming summer 2015. Infrastructure. If anything exciting happens, we've done it wrong.
Okay, Councilmember.
Sausage sandwich? Of course.
And you cannot...
So that was fun. Infrastructure, of course, is most of the time invisible to the general public. We see stories, year after year about bridges collapsing and things like that happening, not just across this country, but all over the world. So we, of course, take our infrastructure very seriously. And with that, I'm going to ask our Public Works Director, Mr. Michael Wolfe, just to come up here and give you a brief list of some of that infrastructure that we take for granted and don't even notice in many instances.
Michael. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, members of the council. Michael Wolfe, Director of Public Works. This will not be as entertaining as that video. as the city manager mentioned, so maybe not seen, so a lot of things underground, but also just kind of ignored because you use them on a day-to-day basis and maybe get reliant on them and really not pay attention. So those are some of the things that I could talk about. We talk about our bridges. We're doing some construction work on a couple bridges there over the Channel Islands. So we actually own quite a bit of bridges. We have all of our street segments, close to 400 miles of streets that we maintain. It's actually in our last report about $1 billion worth of streets if we had to replace them all. So a very significant amount of money involved in that asset. And normally for a city, that's the largest asset that they actually own. Here in Oxnard, we actually have two that probably are comparable to that, which is our water and our wastewater infrastructures. We have a regional wastewater treatment plant plus all of the underground piping that you don't see. Our water distribution system is mostly underground. Again, sight unseen, if you will. A lot of our facilities in our water distribution system are mechanical, electrical, so quite a bit of costly pumps and motors. We also have things that maybe, again, get kind of ignored. Our sidewalks, our storm drain system. The city of Oxnard, we don't actually maintain all of the storm drain in the city. Some of them are regional, so some are maintained by the county, but storm drain systems, traffic signals and controllers, quite a bit of infrastructure is related to traffic signals and controllers. Our signs, you can imagine that every single street we have traffic control signs or some regulatory or informational signs. And then things that we own, some of our streetlights. They're not all owned by Edison. We have landscaping, we have park playgrounds, sports fields. We have parking lots that we maintain. And then one of the big ones is buildings. And maybe you think outside of the building, but in reality, things like the roof and the HVAC and the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, and other things that may go unnoticed, fire sprinkler systems or electrical panels, things like that are things that without routine maintenance, and even with routine maintenance, need to get replaced over time. So there's quite a bit of infrastructure that we maintain and have the responsibility for, so I think that covers some of the bigger components.
And Michael, one of the things that people need to understand that there was quite a bit of deferred maintenance that we have to catch up with in the infrastructure.
Well, jokingly in the video, you obviously see some of the humor in that, but in reality, without the deferred maintenance or without doing the deferred maintenance, it actually becomes very costly over time. I mean, what we can spend on $1 today to prevent, we may be spending $5 or $6 to correct. And I've used this example before in paving. When we do preventative maintenance, it's again using a dollar amount. If you spend $1 in preventative maintenance, you could be saving $6 or $7 or $10 in corrective maintenance later. So it's actually it's not just when you defer that maintenance, you're not just saving that $1. You're actually costing exponentially more in the future.
6-7 times. Thank you. Council members, any questions of Michael? Okay, not. Thank you so much. Mr. City Manager, thank you for the fun facts. Very important. And the question is, how did Councilman Perrell end up in it?
You have to ask his agent.
Bert?
I'll address that. I was asked to do a public service, had no idea, and I wish I hadn't put my head down when I saw it, because now I'm going to have to go back and look at what did I say there. But, Mayor, if I can just say.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Tremendous amount of people in this, I like to say close to 250,000 people. And we have a few people in the community that think at the snap of a finger, there are enough people and resources to take care of whatever problem that particular person at that time, on that day, thinks should be taken care of. Not realizing the men and women that work, the good men and women that work in the city are taking care of all the things public works-wise that the Public Works Director, Mr. Michael Wolfe, who's doing a hell of a job with his crew, are doing. And we don't know that anything's wrong until all of a sudden streetlights go out on Pleasant Valley and Cypress. And then we try to fix it, and the Edison can't fix it. And then we try to fix it some more, and we put a generator, and some wonderful resident from our city steals it. Those kinds of things do not help our city. The residents and the things that, and this is not a political speech, this is just facts. The people that spoke for Southwinds, the reason I questioned the lady that was the chair, she's been doing this for a long time. I have an affinity for Southwinds. Ventura Fernandez was the gentleman's name. I will work with the representative from Southwinds or any other buddy. One of the things that happens in that neighborhood, they're correct, there is a crime problem, but there are crime problems in other parts of the city. But one thing that is very obvious, anybody that drives through Southwinds, the management of those apartments do not have or will not pay for more frequent trash pickups. And when you see the condition that those people have to live in because the management is allowed to do that, one problem leads to another. It's what they call a broken window scenario. I think that's what it's called. Public Works is doing a heck of a job. The fact that somebody thinks a tree should be trimmed in their specific neighborhood, there's contracts that have been allowed. There's things that are going to be going on. The fact that somebody thinks that the streets were supposed to be paved by a certain date. Another fact is an individual is suing the city of Oxnard and tied up the money, so we can't do it. There are things that this council and this management team are doing, and the men and women that work for this city, earning the money that they are receiving, working for this city, deserve more respect from the city of Oxnard. I tell everybody that asks me a question, just tell some city employee sometime, thank you. It's amazing how far that goes. Thank you, Mayor. And it was a public service. That's what I was asked to give in the film.
Thank you, Councilmember. And I just want to add a little bit more, and I keep saying over and over again, this is probably one of the best city councils that I've worked with, and one of probably the best executive team and management team we've had for the city. So I just wanted to add a little bit to that. Madam Clerk, do you have any speakers on this item?
Mayor Zaragoza, there's no speakers virtually or in person for this item.
Thank you. Our next item.